Welcome back everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be teaching you the weirdest strategy that I've created. It is Super Valkyrie smash attack with 10 bowlers. It is very weird, it works perfectly, and destroys the core quite fast. So without further ado, let's jump into the army comp. This is the army that I've cooked up. It is very weird. So basically I'm going to start with a Warden charge with the Angry Jelly, into a kill squad, into my main push, basically my Super Valkyrie smash with the 10 bowlers behind. It is very effective, and like the P.K.K.A. smash, the troops behind the main tanking unit, which in this case is the Super Valkyries, they're very frail and most of them will die in the core, but not before getting all the value they need, meaning you'll destroy the base quite fast afterwards. So I'll be covering the troops, the spells, the siege machine I use, my CC, and my heroes. Let's jump into the troops. Like I said, I want to do a Warden charge with the Angry Jelly. So I'm going to use 5 healers on top of the Warden, which then I'm going to transfer on my main push. And I have 3 Coco Loons just to set for any traps around. I have 1 Golem that will help to tank for the log launcher during my skill squad. And I'm just going to use my Queen. My King is going to go with the main pack to open up walls in the core. I have 1 Ice Golem. He can be used with the main pack just to tank further. It is very good. It is good value. He's going to freeze everything, mitigating a lot of damage on top of your main troops, meaning you can save your bowlers for a little bit more time. Obviously, because I need to open up walls, because I want to enter inside the core, I have 2 wall breakers. One can be used, of course, at the beginning, once you push inside your main troops, or the other one can also be used with your kill squad log launcher if you want to send your queen inside the base, which I would highly recommend. Sometimes you can also join the main pack, which is like a good bonus. That being said, let's talk about the star of this attack, which are the Super Valkyries and the bowlers. I've decided to use 3 Super Valkyries. They're very quick and they deal quite a lot of damage. Once they die, they will drop a rage spell. Of course, the radius might be small, but it is enough to boost at least some of your troops, like your bowlers, your healers, even your heroes. So very important. I have 10 bowlers. They'll help to go inside the base and to destroy everything around inside the core, which is very good, very powerful. And honestly, it's pretty much overkill sometimes. They'll die, obviously, most of the time. It is normal. They're very frail. They won't survive much. But like I said earlier, they'll get so much value before dying. Just to keep them a little bit more alive for a longer period of time, I have 1 Apprentice Warden, which is going to boost the health for my main push. Now here I have all the funnel troops or cleanup. I have 1 Yeti, 1 Baby Dragon, and 1 Valkyrie. They'll be used for funnel, or if you don't use them at all, you can use them as a cleanup troop. And last but not least, I have 3 Headhunters, just to deal for any types of enemy heroes. Those are the troops. Let's jump into the spells. Because I want to do a Warden charge, I have 1 Rage spell right here. That way you can boost the healing of the healers just in case your Warden takes a lot of damage. And if in case he takes too much damage, you can also place an Invis spell right on top of him, which is going to keep him alive longer. You need him alive. It is very crucial. So that's the rage spell as well. I have 1 skeleton spell just to tank for any types of monolith or geared up defense, especially used for the kill squad log launcher. I also have the Nightquake spell, which is going to be very useful to cripple walls and buildings inside the log launcher's value. That way it's going to get destroyed faster. It also is going to help with the queen damage with the giant arrow, which I'm going to talk later on. Obviously, because they don't destroy walls fast, I have 1 jump spell. That way they can zoom inside the base and destroy the rest of the assignated compartments that has been opened by the jump spell. Don't forget that the bowlers are also ranged troops, meaning they can throw their bowling balls over walls to get further damage, which is pretty good. I have 1 free spell just in case I need to freeze any types of defenses to save any types of heroes or troops. And I have 1 healing spell just to keep everything alive. So my Super Valkyries and my bowlers. It's going to be very crucial, especially near the core, or even when you first enter the first compartment when you wall break it. For the siege, since I'm doing a kill squad, I'm going to use a log launcher. It's going to be very useful. For my CC, I have 3 Yetis. They are very good at dealing with any types of defenses. They do a lot of damage, especially raged up. I have 1 rage spell right here you can use on them, or you can use it for your main push. So for your Super Valkyrie and your bowlers, which is actually a great idea, especially for the bowlers because they're going to deal a lot of damage. But because you have Super Valkyries with their rage spells, you can forgive yourself a little bit by using your rage spell on top of your kill squad Yeti. And of course, I have a poison spell just to deal for any types of enemy CC. For the heroes, very simple. For the king, I want as much value as possible. Therefore, I place him with the Phoenix. That way he gets revived, he can tank a little bit more, and can take down any types of trash buildings or defenses furthermore. I have the Earthquake boots just to open up the core. That way my bowlers and Super Valkyries can go further inside the base and destroy more. And I have the Spiky Ball just to cripple buildings around furthermore. more. For the queen, very simple. Because I'm doing a kill squad, I'm gonna use the giant arrow to hit any types of wall or trash buildings in the pathing of the log launcher. Very important. I've paired her with Frosty because I believe the frost mites are very good at tanking and also to slow down defenses, mitigating a lot of damage. And I have the action figure because the giant is actually like a mini hero, deals a lot of damage and can tank for a very long time. For the warden, very simple. I have the angry jelly just to do the warden charge, and I have the rage gem because that's the most optimal way to do a warden charge. And I have an eternal tome just to keep everything alive inside the core. And last but not least, I have the RC. Not too complicated, very simple equipment and pet. It is the spirit fox just to keep her alive from time to time. I have the electro boost just to destroy any types of pesky skeleton traps that can spawn around here. And I have a rocket spear just to destroy buildings from afar so that she doesn't die right away. So that's the composition. Let's jump into planning. For the setup, it's going to be very simple. You want to first do a warden charge. Then after, on the other side, parallel to the warden charge, you want to send your kill squad. And then after, you want to send all your main push inside the base. So let's start with the warden charge. So I already started right here, and I think that's a great idea. You can take down this multi-archer tower. You can take down this air defense to create more pathing. If you want to accelerate the attack, you can also send a Yeti right here to take down the wizard tower and potentially this arch tower. That way, your warden is able to path inside right here and to destroy more buildings right there, even this building. So that's the simple warden charge. Not too hard, very simple. You just gotta keep a keen eye on top of him so that he doesn't perish because he's a glass cannon. He doesn't have a lot of HP, but he deals quite a lot of damage. When you arrive near this single inferno tower, you can either use an invis spell if you know that he's going to survive and destroy it, or you can also use a rage spell right here to rage up the damage, and then after an invis spell if needed. Don't forget that you have two, meaning that you can use two of them for him. Well, that's happening and he's getting like this value right there. You want to do a kill squad, and parallel to the kill squad, to the warden charge, I think right here it's a great idea. So you can send, let's say, your golem right here to tank a little bit more. You can also wall break this area. That way your golem, once he destroys this arch tower or when it's going to fall by the queen, let's say, instead of going outside right here, he can go inside and tank furthermore. Once he's around here, once he destroyed this arch tower and the walls are broken, you can actually send your first skeleton spell right here. That way it's going to help to tank for this single inferno, meaning you can keep your golem alive for a longer period of time and your queen potentially. So once that's down, you can send your queen at the bottom. Try to position her at an area where she can actually send her giant arrow to destroy or to cripple actually buildings in the pathing of the log launcher. And let's say the log launcher is going this way right here. Then you can send, let's say, this queen right here and giant arrow to destroy or to cripple those walls right here and the buildings in the pathing of the logs from the log launcher. Very important. So the queen and the kill squad will be able to take down, let's say, this area. Don't forget, you can also send like a baby dragon or Valkyrie just to destroy those trash buildings here, so that way the queen doesn't go further right there, because you actually want her to go either inside or join with the main push. Very important. Once everything is done and once the warden charge is done as well, you want to send your first Valkyries right there, your super Valkyries on this storage. Make sure that they don't go here, and make sure you can actually clean up with, let's say, a Valkyrie there, so that your super Valkyries can actually path inside the base while destroying those trash buildings and opening, of course, this wall so that they all enter inside. Very important. You don't want to go outside. That's going to be very bad. So if you're able to destroy those buildings with, let's say, your Valkyrie or baby dragon, let's say, then after you can send your super Valkyries, open up the walls. Then after you can send your king right there, so that way he's going to destroy this trash building, going to go and destroy this mortar, and then after you go inside, or maybe the queen will already destroy this gold storage. Then after you can send all your bowlers afterwards. Do not send them at the same time of your super Valkyries or right after. You gotta wait, and they're going to be the last one to be deployed. Very important, because they're very weak in terms of HP, so they can die quite fast. I wouldn't say weak in terms of damage, they actually deal quite a lot of damage. Then after, once they're all inside, you want to either use your jump spell or your quick boots. I think in this scenario, their quick boots are going to be very useful because it's actually going to cripple a lot of area right here. Very good value. It's going to destroy or maybe cripple those areas. It's going to open those walls as well, so everything can go in, and can also jump spell right there if you want, or maybe right here. It's up to you. Even right there, I think that's a good idea. That way your main push can actually path around and go there to the town hall compartment. So that's pretty much how you want to send your main push. Be careful. You need to keep a good eye on top of your bowlers because, like I said, they don't have a lot of HP. So you want to use a healing spell right on top of them if needed to keep them alive. You can also send them on top of your super Valkyries. Very useful, very strong. Once you see one of them die or two of them, you can actually use your Eternal Tome. That way you can protect the rest of your Valkyrie and your bowlers as well, and your main push obviously. And using the rage spell from the fallen super Valkyries, they can actually destroy a good chunk of the base. So it's actually going to be very destructive. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be good. While that's happening, you can send either your RC right here or right here. If the bowlers, like I've shown with this pattern right here with the jump spell on the left side, are going there, then you might want to send your RC on that direction. That way she can support this side, destroy those buildings, and mitigate a lot of damage. She can join up with the main pack and finish up the remaining parts right here. Obviously, right in this area, you super bowlers right here, let's say, they might all fall, and that's completely okay. They would have already destroyed so much base, you won't have to worry about time fail. And you won't have to worry about failing because you have so much strength left. Don't forget that you still have your Rocket Spear. If let's say there are a lot of heavy hitting defenses, like let's say there's a multi-archer tower here or monoliths for some reason on the side, even this multi-inferno tower, you can actually use your Rocket Spear right there, and then after you can repath your main push more on the last remaining area, which it's going to destroy everything. It's that good. And you don't really have a lot of cleanup troops like I've shown, so you can actually save like a bowler or two. Maybe you can send a bowler right there or a bowler right there just to do some further damage with their bowlers, with their bowling balls. And after, that's the end of the attack. It's very strong. It destroyed the core quite fast, so you don't have to worry about time fail. So basically, to recap very quickly, you have to do a warden charge, take down in one area. Parallel to this warden charge, you want to send your kill squad. Then after, you want to open up the walls right here if needed. And then after, send your super Valkyries and your bowlers and your main push basically. You want to either use your jump spell or your quick boots first. In this scenario, I think their quick boots can get a lot of value, tons of value right away. So I think that's a great idea to use that. Don't forget that once your super Valkyries fall, or maybe even before they fall, you can actually use your Eternal Tome. So that way you get more value overall. And then after, with the rage spells falling throughout the base, you can actually get more boost, damage boost, or healing boost. It's going to be very strong. It's going to be most likely overkill sometimes. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be that overkill because a lot of your bowlers will die. But what matters is that the inside all dies and you have enough force to destroy the rest of the base. So I guess it's kind of overkill in a way. So it's a very weird strat. It works quite well. And that being said, let's jump into some attacks. This time I have two attacks. Like always, I'm going to play this replay at 1 turn speed. That way you can see how the flow of the attack works. And then after, I'm going to explain what I did more in detail for this attack and for another attack. So if you want to skip this part, I'm going to put a timestamp. That way you can skip to it right into the explanation. But that being said, let's jump into the attack. Let's remind ourselves that we need to do a warden charge with the Anger Jelly. Parallel to that, to another side, we're going to use our Kill Squad Log Launcher. And then after, once everything is done, we're going to send our main push in the core. And we're going to use our RC just to support the side for the main push. So right here, everything went fast, but I'm going to explain it in more detail. So I just sent a Coco Loon with my ward in charge, and of course some healers just to keep him alive. Then after I believe I sent a cleanup troops right here, Valkyrie I think. Yeah, I sent a Valkyrie just to clean up this area, that way my queen can actually path on the outside, hopefully, and join the main push right there. I've sent my giant arrow just to cripple those buildings around. I sent my earthquake spell, that way it's going to cripple even more those walls as well as those buildings around. And then after I sent my log launchers behind to keep him as safe as possible. I also sent a skeleton spell just to keep the tanking alive, but it was kind of a bad idea because of the town hall right here. It's just going to destroy them, but at least with the skeleton that's spawning, it can actually disable the monolith for quite a while, so it's still getting some good value. Harry decided to rage, that way it's going to destroy the town hall quite fast thanks to this giant. And with those Yetis right here, they're going to destroy all those buildings around, especially with the Yeti Might. Maybe not all of this value, but at least one fire spitter or this ricochet cannon, which is going to be good. Once the warden charge is done and you got enough value, you're going to send your super Valkyries, then after your king, and then after at last you're going to send your bowlers, very important. And the healer is going to transfer to your main pack, so either your super Valkyries, your king, or your bowlers. You're going to send some Coco Loons, so I have 2 remaining, so I'm going to send the 2 last. And then after I'm going to send, obviously, the Apprentice Warden to keep everything alive. So everything looks good, all the kill squads got the value that I wanted, or almost. So here I've decided to use the jump spell because if I use the earthquake boots, it wouldn't get much value around. Those buildings wouldn't be crippled by the earthquake boots. So I opt for the jump spell first. So it's very good. Now here it was a little bit unfortunate. Okay, so I sent my RC right here because I thought that my main push is going to path all around there. But I had a little bit of split, which was a little bit awkward because of the log launcher actually opening those few walls right here. And because of that, my bowlers actually went on the outside on the part that I didn't want them to go. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I still tripled, as you guys saw, meaning this attack is still very strong because all the bowlers actually got all the values needed, meaning your remaining troops or heroes will actually destroy the base without any much trouble. Now it's actually nice because my queen and my RC are actually working together. Now I'm doing a little bit of queen charge because the healers actually transferred to the queen. So, I mean, it's good. Unfortunately, my 2 super Valkyries remaining actually died on this spot right there. And I don't get the rage benefits. So, obviously, with this strategy, you kind of gamble with the rage spell with the super Valkyries. But other than that, it's still a very powerful strategy. Like, it's split. Right here, as you can see, the bowler has split. My super Valkyries didn't get much value after their death with the rage spell. And still, I've tripled. I also had a remaining rage spell which I could have used with the main pack in the core somewhere, but I still had it. I didn't have any usage for it, so I just let it ride, just use it at the end, just basically swagging it. That's how strong this attack is. Very nice, very fun to use. Let's jump into the next replay. So like always, I'm going to do a warden charge. Parallel to this, I'm going to send my log launcher and then after my main troops. So right here, I decided to do a little bit of funnel preemptively using a Valkyrie just to destroy this building. So that way, my super Valkyries won't go down there, hopefully. Now here, I put a baby dragon just to funnel this building. That way, my queen can actually go either inside or outside, hopefully, and join with the main pack. If she goes outside, it's a little bit unfortunate, but you still get enough value with the queen anyway with the giant arrow. I'm going to place an earthquake spell around this area to destroy or to cripple further those buildings. And then after, obviously, I sent my log launcher. So everything looks good so far. I have to use an invis spell right here because the warden was getting targeted by the queen and he was about to die. So I just invis that and everything is fine actually. It's going to probably follow this Yeti. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't follow, or sometimes when the Yeti is low HP, it's going to follow the Yeti. Maybe it's because of the Yeti mites who are spawning. I don't really know, but it does happen. I don't know what makes it do that, but it does. But it doesn't really matter at this point because the Yeti is actually going to go like on the outside. I'm going to send my main push right here, wall break this area, and then after everything can go in and destroy everything. So right here, I decided to send all my bowlers. That way, it's going to grab the Warden's attention and they're going to follow. Now I send my Super Valkyries right here, so that way they're going to destroy this building, and then after, they're going to destroy everything. So I know I said that you need to send your bowlers at last. I could have sent my king, actually, which would have done the job pretty much. But I've decided to send my bowlers, and I'm going to send the main push, and everything's going to get destroyed. So as you can see, this kill squad actually got tons of value. The queen actually went inside, which is good. She's going to take down this ground expo. My giant is going to die, but that doesn't matter at this point. He got enough value, got enough distraction. My Yetis right here is going to destroy and going to actually join with the main pack. Is going to tank for this monolith and it's going to destroy few defenses around. Here was a little bit unfortunate. I actually used the jump spell right here and the earthquake boots. I should have used my earthquake boots either first or wait until it was a little bit further there. So it was a very big misplay on my part because now it's going to be a little bit hard to destroy this last compartment right here, especially to wall break. But other than that, everything looks good. So I'm going to send my RC here to support the side of the base. That way it's going to accelerate the attack and mitigate a lot of damage. So everything looks good. So everything looks good. Look at that. I swag my RC ability. I still have a free spell I can use, maybe right here. Everything looks good. And I've also got unlucky right here. I don't know if you guys saw it, but my Warden was actually altering between the side and the main push. It was like in the middle of them because of this Yeti. It's super weird. And my bowlers was like, some of my bowlers at least, they were on the side right here. And I used my Warden's ability just to keep them safe a little bit more. It kind of worked for a little bit, but not much because they died afterwards. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but other than that, it's still very strong. I still have my RC ability. I still have a free spell. This attack got a lot of value, and I think, I don't know if I saw it properly, but I think my Super Valkyries actually got some good value with the rich spell. I'm not sure, but other than that, this attack is quite strong, as you can see. Very fun attack, definitely the weirdest one I've created. I didn't know if it's gonna work, but I've tried it. I've tweaked a little bit of the spells and the abilities, and I think it worked pretty well. Now I know I said that I was only going to show 2 attacks, but I have to show this one because this attack was actually an accident. So what happened is that I thought that I had throwers for Clan Wars because that's usually the attack that I'm using, even pre-buffs, because they're actually pretty strong. But when I was planning, I was too much focused on the attack and thinking that I was using throwers right now, and I just jumped into the attack right away thinking I had throwers, but no, I had the Super Valks and Bowlers strategy. So I was not prepared. I was very confused and surprised, but it's just to show that this attack, because I tripled, is actually viable and pretty strong if everything goes well. And I've actually learned one thing or two with this attack. So let's jump into it. Alright, so with the Warden, I just sent him right here to destroy a few defenses. It was a little bit hard to funnel him or to know where to put him, but I figured out this area was actually pretty good because you can actually create a good funnel for the troops to go inside right here. So that's why I've also put my kill squad right here. I've also put a Yeti right there just to clear off this mortar. That way, my queen is more encouraged to go with the main push later on. I sent my giant arrow and I've put a skeleton. Well, I'm going to put a skeleton spell right here once my log launcher is getting closer to those defenses. But everything so far looks pretty good. So once the Angry effects wears off, I send all my Super Valkyries just to help repath my Grand Warden for the main push and to go right here. Right there, I decided to put 1 bowler. I could have put 2, but 1 was way more than enough. It's going to destroy those 2 buildings. That way, my Super Valkyries don't have like to go there and then after go back. So it's a linear pathing that they have with these 2 buildings destroyed. I'm putting my Ice Golem. I'm going to wall break those compartments right here so that all my troops goes inside. Now, unfortunately, my Yetis right here from the log launcher didn't go too far. They didn't go in the core, but they're walking on the side, which is completely fine because they're going to destroy this ricochet cannon and this X-bow probably. But yeah, it would have been better if they went inside. So now I'm setting all my troops here. Now this everything here funnel, I'm going to send my king right there. Going to be behind this giant, so he's going to stay healthy for a little bit. And then after all my bowlers right here, they're going to destroy those buildings right there. So poison spell on top of the CC. There are 2 furnaces this time, so I'm just going to put my poison spell on top of the furnaces. The rest can deal with the rest, like the queen, I guess, or the RC that's going to come very soon. But yeah, one thing is that you don't have much force to deal with any types of air troops. So if you still have the queen alive that joins with your main pack, this is very important, and it looks like you're going to repath and go with them as well. I've decided to send my RC right here. I know I said you need to send your RC on the side, but I feel like in this scenario, it was better to send the RC with the main pack to get an extra help, let's say for any types of air troops like the Minion Prince, or in this case the Super Minion. I know it's not much, but no troops can actually deal with it. I mean, except for the Warden, but I don't think he's going to do that. And my queen is very far away, and it's not a guarantee that your queen will go with your main pack. So very important, sometimes you want to send your RC with your main pack instead of on the side. I think this scenario was the perfect one for her to go with it. One thing you also realize that my bowlers are very linear in terms of pathing. Like, they won't go outside much, I mean, except for this monolith and this client castle right here. But other than that, they're going to stay linear. They're not going to spread outside. They're going to stay inside. And this is very crucial. I've learned from it. I've tried this army later on. I felt like I was able to get triples, and then after sometimes not really. I was so confused until I've started to watch the replays and VODs and look at how did my bowlers all die, or all my force died. And I've realized that you need to keep a very good linear pathing with them. Meaning that if you're able to save your earthquake boots near the end, so after your initial jump spell, this is the most optimal ways 99% of the time. Because if you use your earthquake boots right away, you're going to open all this area, and maybe the bowler is going to spread right here first, and then after others going to be there, instead of going into linear pathing and going to the jump spell and stay more clumped up. Now there's all going to spread here, here, and here. The healers must spread as well. It's really bad. Imagine if they decided to go right there as well. They're going to die to the scatter shot. You're going to lose a lot of force. This fire spitter is going to destroy them slowly but very efficiently. So very important, if you're able to use your jump spell first, that way they stay at a more linear pathing, and then after your earthquake boot later on. Here I decided to use my Warden ability. I waited for one Super Valkyrie to die. Unfortunately, another one died. As you can see, there's like the rage spell right there. It looks a little bit weird, but it's right there. She died, unfortunately. She wasn't in the range of the Warden. She was barely outside and died to the monolith. But other than that, I used this rage spell from the first Valkyrie who died to deal more damage. And here was what I was saying, is that I used my quick boots right here and things started to spread and they started to die quite fast. But at this point, this is what you want because they already done so much value. You still have all your heroes alive. Everything looks pretty good so far. Well, my Warden just died, but other than that, you have enough forces, you have enough spells, you have enough troops to finish the base. Now, I believe because I was panicking a little bit, because I wasn't mentally ready for this attack, I was thinking about throwers since the beginning, and now that the plan changed, I was completely out of the game. I believe I wasted my cleanup troops, but other than that, I still tripled because this attack is quite fast, especially in the core. Yeah, my 3 headhunters, I kind of sent it on the same enemy hero, which would have fallen already. I could have saved one to go there, or maybe even, well, yeah, only there. That would be a safe choice. And once the exposed being tanked, I could send one right there. It would have been a faster attack. but I've managed to triple nonetheless. So this just to prove that this attack is quite valuable. It is extremely powerful. If it gets more known, maybe it could be a meta attack because it's very effective, but you gotta respect few rules like keeping them all clumped up in a linear pathing. This is very important because once they spread, there's basically no types of recovery unless they somehow survive and re-clumped up together. So that's the only other case scenario which is very situational. But other than that, this attack is very fun, very strong, and I was happy to actually triple even though my head wasn't in the game for this attack. In conclusion, this army is very fun. I love using it. Definitely weird. Is it going to be meta? Probably. I mean, it's definitely very effective. As you can see, I swagged a lot of spells. I swagged even the RC abilities, even though everything went wrong in both attacks. So very strong attack, very fun to use. The Super Valkyries actually gives them justice with this setup. It acts the similar way as P.E.K.K.A. Smash, except that you have bowlers instead of Super Wizards and Super Valkyries instead of P.E.K.K.A.s. I really love this army. I enjoyed using it. It definitely feels more forgiving than the Super Wizards. I don't know why, but it does. But other than that, it's very fun, very powerful. And honestly, if you like Smash attacks and you like something new, something very weird, something you've probably never seen, you can use this army. So I'm going to put this army in the description below. And that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little guide. If you have any suggestion for any types of army that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next guide.